Hi everyone, today I'm going to do a new tutorial and I'm going to show you how to make resin coasters. This is a really fun new concept that I've seen a couple of people try and it looks really nice. It has some really cool effects and it's nice to give out as presents and things like that. So I'm going to show you the process of how I make them. So what you're going to need is a silicone mould. This one I just got from Amazon. I'll try and put a link in the description below. But these, you can use these kind of moulds for things like cakes or jewellery making or all sorts of different things. But today I'm going to use them to make the resin coasters. It's kind of flexible, so it's easy to take them out once they've cured. The other items I've got is of course some art resin. I've got the hardener and the resin. I've got a blowtorch to get the bubbles out. I've got some clear cups for pouring and mixing the resin. And then I've got my alcohol inks. So I'm going to go for quite bright colours. This is what works better when you're doing these coasters because the paler colours, some of these ones I've got over here, they just don't show up so much. So I've got cranberry, patina, wild plum, stream, and so for the white I've got jacquard, pinata, white alcohol ink. This is the one that does all the magic, so you want to make sure that you've got one of these, the white alcohol ink. Most of my products are from Tim Holtz, but I've also got some Liquitex acrylic ink. I haven't tried this in these before, the coasters, so I'm just going to have to see how the acrylic ink works, but the alcohol ink obviously looks really nice. I've also got some liquid leaf metallic paint, which I might try and see how it looks. But again, I'm not sure how this one will turn out, but we'll have a go. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is to put on some gloves. Make sure that your hands are protected from the resin. You don't want to get any resin on your hands. And then I've got some cups here. I'm going to measure the same amount of the hardener and the same amount of resin. In terms of measurement, these discs are about 2 to 3 centimeters deep. I'll put the measurements on the description, but I'm just gonna kind of guess as to how much I need. I might do 1 or 2 depending on how much I've got. So I'm gonna pour the resin. So in this one I've got kind of about 1/3 of a cup, which should do fine. And then I'm going to do the same amount of resin into the other cup. Okay, so I've got equal amounts in both cups. Again, it's about 2/3 the way full. So I'm going to pour my hardener into my resin. If you want a more detailed video on mixing resin, you can check out some of my other videos. But pretty much you want to make sure that you have equal amounts of both, and you want to try and combine them as well as possible, getting out as many bubbles as you can. Okay, so I'm just making sure that I've got all of it in here. I have mixed it wrongly before and the painting didn't dry. I had it for about 3 weeks and it still hadn't dried because the resin was tacky and I had to end up throwing it away. So this part is really important, making sure that you have the exact amounts. Okay, and then I'm just going to mix this up really well together. This can take about 4 or 5 minutes mixing. You won't get out all the bubbles, but as many as you can get out the better. So you don't need to stir too vigorously, but you want to make sure that they're both combined really well. Okay, so I've been stirring for about 4 or 5 minutes. it kind of goes like a cloudy colour, and you will kind of see lots of bubbles in it, but they will come out with the blowtorch. So once you've mixed and made sure that they're both really well combined, you want to start pouring it into your moulds. So obviously make sure your moulds are clean, that there's no dust in them. I've already checked mine. And I'm gonna do this middle one here. And I'm just gonna start to pour it in. This first cast, I poured quite a lot of resin in and didn't torch it in stages, and I got quite a few bubbles in it. The bubbles are quite hard to torch if it's a thick layer of resin, so just a small coat and then torch it and then carry on until you've got the level that you like. Right, once you've torched your resin and there's no more bubbles left in it, then this is when you want to start the magic. So I'm going to start by using the acrylic ink, and I'm going to see if this actually works. So I'm just going to start by dropping a couple of drops. And then on top of that, I am going to put the pinata white. Okay, so I've zoomed in so that I can show you the process here. Next, I'm going to put in a couple of dots of patina. And I'm going to put some white on top of that. And what the white does is it kind of pushes the other colours down into the resin. So it's really important that you put white over each layer. I'm going to use some cranberry next. Some cranberry in the middle. And then again over with the white. Next I'm going to use some styrene. So you're going to want to do probably around 7 to 10 layers of ink, because it's quite a thick amount of resin that you need to get through. I'm going to use some wild plum. So I'm just building up my sides here. You can leave the sides clear, it does actually look quite nice to have some clear bits around the side. And it's quite nice just to see the colours all spreading out. Do some more pink. And then basically we just have to wait for up to 24 hours. So whilst I've got this one drying over here, I'm going to try another technique here. Here I've got liquid gold leaf, and we're going to try dropping a couple of drops of that in. And then I'm going to put some white over the top. And then I'm going to try some blue. Now next I've actually got some alcohol blending solution. I'm going to try dotting a couple of bits, just really small bits. See if it makes any kind of effects on the ink. Now I think I'm going to put a little bit of pink in this one. And again go over with the white. And we'll see how that one turns out as well. Okay, so I took them out of the moulds 24 hours later, and this is what I turned up with. So this is one of them. I will do some zoom in shots. I didn't record the process of this one, but it was very similar to the second technique that I showed you. This is the other side. So this is the side that I dropped the inks onto. It's got some really nice patterns. Again, I'll do some close-ups. A couple of extra tips. What I would say is that when I tried to take this out the next day, it got really stuck in the mould. There is some like bits of the mould that I need to kind of sand off. I did look at some other forums and some people said to use some spray, to also put it in the freezer if you have difficulty getting it out. It will come out, you kind of just have to pull at it really hard, but yeah, it's not easy. This is the other one that I did. So this one also has some really nice patterns. I'll zoom in and show you. And this is the other side, the side that I dropped the ink onto. This is another one that I did. I'm not quite happy with this one. I didn't like that the white dots here, but this was the purple one that I did at the beginning. This one's quite a lot thicker as well from the others. I'll probably look at doing it thinner. The thinner ones are slightly better. But yeah, I think they're really nice gifts to give out. So I really enjoyed making these resin coasters. If you have any more tips that you want to share or any questions, just post in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see similar kind of videos, please hit the subscribe button, and I hope to see you all soon. Bye!